So our guest is actually a very good friend of mine. I started talking to him back
he's
in.
my friend too.
Yeah, you're a friend of ours. Yeah,
You
but
said mine.
yeah, I said mine. I mean ours. Yeah, what, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, we started talking to him back in about April or March, I think. Anyway, and we just gotten like long conversations, like late in the night, just talking about the fandom and whatnot. But he's one of the I think he's one of the greater musicians of the fandom because makes some really amazing music. Um, so I guess we'll bring him up. It's
So great and powerful, ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen.
so great and powerful.
Are you guys familiar with Pinkie Pie Swear? His music's a lot like his, though he's going in the new direction at the moment. But I don't need to tell you about it. SoGAP, tell us a bit about yourself.
For the record, I'm just Paleo's friend.
Oh. Saber, come back.
Oh, it's fine, it's fine. No. It's all right. What the? Wait. Final draft? No, I'm joking. What's he doing under it? No. All right. SoGAP, tell us a bit about yourself then. What do you do in the Brony community?
I make remixes of the vocal material that is available from the shows. So I just steal that and I try to and I remix it, and that's mostly what I'm known for.
Now, why ponies? Like, when was that defining moment when you're like, okay, I'm tired with this normal music. Let's throw some ponies in this.
Well, actually, you didn't really start making stuff until.
No, yeah, actually, I don't have a history of making music. I really feel like it was people like Pinkie Pie Swear, and their early remixes that made me feel like something like that was possible. And so I really don't have much experience at all, but I got a lot of support from the community and stuff like that, so that just encouraged me to keep doing it.
Now, So Great and Powerful is a very deep thinker, and this is more than just like, an interview. We want to go a bit further. We're going to ask him some very deep and some very meaningful questions about bronies, because as you all know, there's some very, interesting facets of the brony community. So we're going to go ahead and open this up to SoGAP. Tell me, how would you define brony? What is a brony to you?
Okay, well, I just want to warn everybody, it might be a little bit boring, whatever. But, okay, so for the most part, I think one of the things I became interested in the community was just what kind of thing the community was. I was never really a part of a community or a fandom before. So, as soon as I got into it, I felt like, oh, there must be some kind of higher significance to this. Maybe this is a special phenomenon. And I think maybe a lot of people felt that the brony community was something special because it wasn't just a typical fandom, that there was something about it that expressed something about gender roles or about creativity or friendship or something like that, as opposed to just being a simple fan of the show, which is extremely common.
Now, SoGAP, let's say some guy just kicked the door down right now and he said, you like ponies. What would you say to him? What if he was judging you? How would you confront a person who's bringing social norms down on you? What would you say to them? How would you retort?
Yeah, like for the most part, it seems like that's the thing that unifies bronies, is a kind of, you have a higher degree of initiation than other fandoms in that you have to approach something and be public about something that's harder for you to do compared to other kind of fandoms. And so in some way it's like you go through this initiation of declaring that you like a show about little girls, and that is what binds us. But other than that, it seems that there's not much else to the phenomenon in the community except for this higher level of initiation. So in some sense, the people that are haters and so forth, the societal norms in general, it seems like that is what makes the community what it is. It's kind of like, if you think of like fraternities or so forth, like it's kind of like you're it's kind of like a hazing process that you have to get past, and then you're part of the community. So,
But
when I-
Bronies don't
when-
have
when-
keg parties though.
Well,
Wait, do
well,
we? We need to.
You know, Andrew Francis and so on. But
See, no, SoGAP's being very like serious right now. He's
This
see,
is-
last night he's like, what kind of questions would be asking us? I'm like, oh, it was something open-ended, define Brony. He's like, okay, I'll be ready for it. And like 3 in the morning, he's like pulling out an encyclopedia. He's like writing down notes. Like, I'm gonna ace this freaking question so good. See, I didn't think he had to be prepared for this. I'm actually kind of flabbergasted. SoGAP, what if? Okay, tell me. What do you think about there being a monarchy in Equestria? If you could change it to any other system of rule, what would it be?
yeah, like, okay, here's another thing about the show that people think. They think the show is idealistic or something like that. Like it's
Idealistic?
like,
How?
Like it's a utopia, or it's like it's naive or something. But the show itself is basically just our world. There's businesses and so forth. It's obviously some form of capitalism. There's
Free market Equestria.
you know, it's probably like,
Celestia
it's-
care.
Yeah, I mean, Celestia is just a figurehead. She's not.
What?
There's probably
What? So what, is there some like president of Equestria? Is Celestia just a glorified Queen Elizabeth?
there's probably some parliamentary process that we don't hear about.
Does that mean
but-
there's a Prince Charles pony going, one day I'll be the King of England? Mm. Yes, I agree.
Believe it or not, herd animals have been proven to live by direct democracy.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're more democratic than we are. So a herd of horses have more personal freedoms than the people of North Korea. Hey, I have to say the truth. That's how it is. But tell us, if you could have any business, if you can run any business in Ponyville, what would it be? If you could open up shop to anything, what would it be? Anything you want. It could be a music store. It could be a garden. It could be a GameStop.
Well, if you want to get into this kind of thing, it's you know, I think things should be free.
What?
I would never sell my music or anything like that.
No, I mean
I
like,
wouldn't.
so you wouldn't open up you wouldn't open up a shop to like, so you'd open a shop up just to like, give away your music for free.
I mean, a shop is a business. It would have to have profits and so forth.
Well, how would you pay for the shop if you're not charging people for your music?
I don't
Yeah,
know
that's-
what we're talking about. There's still some.
yeah, I'm not
still
sure
some
where you're going
issues.
with this.
No, it was a question that said, if you were a pony in Ponyville and you could open up a shop, what would it be? What would you want to do?
You know, I've thought about that even in real life. That there's, you know, what would I, if I could become an entrepreneur, what would I do? I don't like that kind of thing. I think it's wrong to do.
So what would you do for a living in Ponyville then? Be homeless? Like Trixie?
Oh God.
She lives in her little wooden cottage.
I mean, I know what you're saying. Like, it's not an issue of, oh, well, you are idealistic.
Asking a simple question.
You are unrealistic about, you know.
What? Unrealistic is a show about pink ponies that are talking.
You are unrealistic about the realities of, you know, the economic realities.
Okay, now he's acting like
and so
Carl.
forth.
No, I want to know if you could open up a shop and sell something in there, what would it be?
Saber, now he's acting like Carl.
Now
Yeah,
he
but
is.
what
I
is-
want to know, what would you sell? You keep dodging the question. What would it be? Now, if I could, it depends on the construction of the shop.
But like this is a strange question because you're really trying to ask me something like, what do I like? Like
What do you like?
What are my hobbies? Which suggests basically that
You do stuff.
your interests and your desires have to be filtered through some kind of entrepreneurial activity, which is exactly what everyone does.
If you can, what would you do?
If you just say the kind of things I like.
If you were in
just ask
Ponyville,
me.
what would you do? If you woke up one morning, okay,
If you had to make a living.
if you make a living.
No, and
Yeah, now you can't dodge a question anymore.
no, in some sense, this is an extremely important point. Just because
Yes, it is an important
there's
point.
no way to be clear about the, you know, metaphysical structure of Ponyville. You don't. There's no closure. There's no closure to the structure.
Oh,
of
I
this
get it
world.
now. He's the kind of guy who gets checks from Celestia, working off of hard taxpayers like you and me. I work 8 hours a day. You're sitting at home on Nintendo Genesis 65. Yeah, to the moon. Get a job. Get a haircut. No, but seriously.
I mean, the show has obviously suggested there are no social programs and so forth because it's supposed to be a harmonious society.
Tell that to Skittle.
Oh, that was low, Saber.
What is that?
Obviously,
what
we
does
need
that
an
mean?
episode.
He was implying
we need an
handicap.
episode to clear it up. Like Lauren Faust's actually watching this. Never mind.
Wait, a social program? A social program?
Okay, if you could, no, I want to answer that one question I asked you. If you were in Ponyville, what would you do for a living?
The answer you want me to give is I would be a musician and I would play with Octavian vinyl.
There
Scratch.
you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, SoGAP. Kayla, do you have any questions for SoGAP? For our deep thinker?
How many minutes we have?
Let me look at my phone.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more question for SoGAP, and then we'll move on to a Q&A. So, will we ask my question then?
And I had one, but it's gone.
Now, SoGAP, when we watch the show, we notice that there's some animals who live in Ponyville, like the pigs and like the cows. Do you feel like they have equal freedoms compared to the ponies?
Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I
Do you
mean,
feel like there's a little bit of inequality between ponies and other?
to make it less of a mockery, I would just say
Hey, my mom was a pig. How dare you?
that
Why
one
did I
of
say that?
I hope she's not watching.
She's like, that's it. No more allowance.
I just want to say one of the interesting things about the show is that it does. There is a kind of arbitrariness in the way things are organized. Obviously, cows are included because, you know, in our normal lives, cows are domesticated and so forth. So basically what you find is the show just takes elements from our real world, from bits, from places here and there.
Wait,
and they try
ponies
to-
eat cows?
And they try to combine them.
I think they just milked them.
And they try to
That's
combine.
kind of weird. Hello, Mrs. Moo. Just if you don't mind. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, and the chickens, they just have them for the eggs, and then the sheep just for shearing, and then the
Pigs for
the pi-
bacon. You need your
the
essentials.
the pigs are the garbage disposal.
What?
Yeah.
Garbage disposals. Isn't that what trash cans are for?
Yes. Okay.
What about Lunchables?
Okay. Let me make this.
What?
I
Let me
saw
make
one in an episode.
Let me make this point,
Go
Saber.
ahead.
This is a point I've actually been wanting to make for a while. It's just because it does that, you can see that there are certain images and meanings from our world that are just taken and included in this show because you need to understand them. And when you actually try to make sense of them, you get contradictions like ponies eating cows that are actually sentient. Okay, so what you have is you just have things that are selected from the world that are just included together randomly. There's no consistency. So that really finds out, in that way you can really find out about what things do mean in our world. So you find out that ponies somehow mean something that they stand-ins for people. But cows are just cows, they're just domesticated and so forth. So one of the
They can talk.
Yeah.
right, right,
They
right. So
can I ask a hypothetical question?
no,
Oh.
no.
No, I have one for you, okay? This is an
So
interesting one.
oh, okay, okay.
Oh, I mean, go ahead and finish if you
Go
want.
ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah.
Let's say Discord returned, okay? And he causes chaos, but the pony stopped him, put him in chains, and brought him to the high court. You're the judge. He said, Discord, you've been charged for crimes against the high throne. How do you plead? He's like, innocent. All right? And he's guilty, obviously. He's Discord. Now, how would you punish him? What would you do to him? If you had to pass judgment on Discord for his crimes against ponies, how would you deal with him?
I mean, these questions are basically directed at a certain view of philosophy that's supposed to say that philosophy is a set of good questions.
So,
and
electrical chair, then.
philosophy.
Son.
Philosophy.
Let's move the cannon this way this time. No, what would you do?
extremely different.
Like community service or AA meetings?
Philosophy is not a set of good answers and good questions to those kind of questions. Obviously, it is just whatever the best situation is in that world.
So
obviously,
for-
you needed to eradicate Discord because he was upsetting the whole situation.
That's a strong word. So how would you eradicate him? What if in court there's a single tear coming down from his cheek and he's like, I didn't mean it. Celestia broke my heart many years ago.
I mean, in some
Did you
sense,
read my fanfic about it?
in the real
No, I
world,
missed the Fluttershy one.
in the real world, I would probably be closer to somebody like Discord just because he calls for a new kind of, whatever you want to say, he calls for a new kind of social order. Revolution.
So you would let him off the hook then?
I mean, he's created a new world where there are not the same standards, so it's not comparable. It's not.
But he's being judged in our world where
It's just because the winners create history and so forth. So he lost, so he's evaluated by their standards and so forth. But he has his own.
So what would be the final judgment then?
I mean, this is why this is not like a particularly deep or interesting question. It's
No, I
just
think it's very interesting.
Obviously, Celestia would punish him and turn him into stone, which is exactly what happened.
Would you turn him to marble just so he feels prettier?
Or you could throw him or you could throw him to jail, or any number of punishments, whatever is the norm in whatever society. And apparently in Ponyville, it is to turn people into stone.
What if forensic science actually had some evidence and that he was actually innocent? What if there actually was a good case that he was innocent? Would you let him off the hook?
I mean, the totality of the world we're talking about is simply the show as it is presented. So,
Ladies and gentlemen, so great and powerful.
Okay, now we're gonna.
A very interesting thinker and a very good friend of ours.
This has been a little bit. I didn't realize what this would be.
He's trying to
But,
say that he loves us, right? Because if you don't, we're not gonna let you sleep in our room.
And I know this is supposed to be a little bit more entertaining, but there are a few points. I
No,
wanted
it
to
was
make.
entertaining.
There was a few points I wanted to make that I didn't get to make, but
Go ahead. This is okay.
No, it's okay.
A final word from
It's
So Great
okay.
and Powerful. Go ahead.
it's okay.
No,
I
I want to hear it.
No, I'm good friends with Saber. I'm actually one of the 7 people in the room, so it's not a big deal. But yeah,
He was actually cleaning my stuff up yesterday. I'm like, I didn't
there's
even.
Cheetos everywhere.
Oh, no! Those are Doritos. No, but I want to hear final thoughts from you. Go.
One thing I wanted to say, just to anyone who's watching and all bronies, is just something I've been seeing lately in the fandom is just people making fun of people who actually take the fandom seriously, and acting like that is something that is bad, like these are the people that are giving bronies the bad name and so forth because they're obnoxious and they're serious and so forth. And I just want to say that if you ever want that for everything that you've done in this community and all the time that you've spent and the fun times you've had to be anything more than just any number of other activities that you could do, it's important that we take the community seriously as something that should be preserved and fought for if people try to say bad things and so forth. So I really wanted to say that to
Well, thank you,
people out there.
All right. At this time, we're going to open up for Q&A, so fire away. Okay, that's it. Never mind. You.
Who's best pony?
Twist.
I have a distinction between best and favorite.
Here we go.
So, I say best is Pinkie Pie. One of my favorites, Twilight. But
All right. So, Gabby, you have a favorite pony? Get in on this.
I mean.
Oh, never mind.
Flutter.
These answers. It's going to take another 5 more minutes.
Fluttershy is best pony.
All right, thank you.
It's pretty obvious.
All right.
You have a choice of one Brony musician to help Danny Wagram make the music for one season. Who is it?
Your Enigma.
What'd you call him?
No, you're no, you're Enigma.
Your Enigma is a good friend of ours,
Yeah.
and he's extremely talented, very professional musician. Check him out, guys.
Yeah, he
very-
makes some amazing piano pieces.
Yeah.
Hey, are you Earth Bronies?
Yep.
Yeah. They make really good.
Oh,
they've made
yeah.
one, but they've
Yeah,
they
Earth
do a really
Bronies.
good episode review.
Someone
Yeah.
acknowledges us.
Where's Pony?
Twist.
Gilda? All right.
That's a cheat.
I'll just have to say Celestia because I have that professor mentor thing that I screwed that up. Anyway,
He emails his professor every night. Dear professor, today I learned that amoebas divide. You're a faithful student, PaleoSteno.
Wait, you? Celestia?
I'm a libertarian, so Gary Johnson. No, Luna. Duh. All the way. All right, who's next? You.
I just wanted to say that on the question you were asking me about when to do the Discord, I don't think you could really do anything too bad to Discord because if you were to kill him, that would kind of throw off the balance of the question.
So we could
That's not exactly true.
we can put him in reform.
the
Carbonite. I love you. I know.
all that is
And then Boba Fett takes Discord away.
Okay.
Listen, all that is
Someone's gonna animate that now. Boba Fett, where?
all that is disorder. Okay, harmony is just imposed.
But you wouldn't know what harmony is unless you knew what chaos was.
No, I mean,
I can be deep too, guys.
Okay. Pony-One Kenobi over there.
you know, I talked to you last night, and you didn't know who I was, and you didn't give me the light of day.
Oh.
I'll sing with you. I will. I'll sing. No, I'm just kidding. I think they're having a lover's tiff. All right, you. There is no sense. You. I'm actually allergic.
I actually don't. But I'm going to the moon anyway, I guess.
You.
JP, what kind of for your new E380, E4
Oh, like his episode type songs.
Yeah, like what kind of like inspired you to change doing that and like adding vocals or like was that your own vocals?
I wanted to sing to express myself, and yeah, I just wanted to sing. I wanted to work with lyrics and stuff like that because when you're doing remixes, it's just pogo stuff, so it's just and I wanted to work with actual lyrics and meanings and so forth.
But don't.
In general, you could say I'm just trying to work more with like particularities now. I mean, before I had this view of bronies as grand and universal and so forth. I was a rabid brony or whatever, and so I've been a little bit more down to earth now. That's all.
But whatever you do, don't play his music in the same room with him. He'll actually like try to break your arms. Because people in the room are like, "Who's this guy?
That's
Looks so damn
embarrassing.
powerful. Check out his music." He's like, "Don't show it off." All right, you.
Favorite season and episode.
Favorite season.
That's tough.
Favorite season. I do like.
Season 1
That's hard.
because there was no bias to like it. I just liked it because it was good. Favorite episode, probably a Dog and Pony Show.
Yeah, I'll say my favorite episode from season 1 is Green Isn't Your Color, and from season 2 that would be It's About Time for that. But favorite season, I'm not sure. I don't think
Season
I can
5.
choose. Season 5.
Count on it.
Now I'm gonna go eat.
All right, see you, dude. What about you, SoGreat? Favorite episode?
Season 2 I thought overall was better, and Hurricane Fluttershy, because if anyone's ever been shy, if anyone's ever been shy, if anyone's ever had to like do anything, especially athletic type things, and you just are horrible, you know exactly how that feels. So.
All right, let's get some more questions from this side. You. Yeah.
Yes.
Recently I talked to you on Twitter last night, and I was wondering if I could interview you. I've interviewed so many fantastic bronies. It would be an honor if I could interview you.
Oh, I think that'd be awesome. Yeah. Talk after the show, definitely. I would love to. You. Yes. Well, I mean. Yes.
Favorite couple.
Couple.
Brad and Angelia are just Prince William and his lovely wife are a close second. Favorite couple? Well.
And it doesn't matter.
Oh goodness. I like to see more Cheerilee and Big Mac. Hey, that's official. I can say that. So Big Mac and Cheerilee.
I like the cakes. The cake family.
Man,
yeah,
but
I'll say that for Hirosashi. So.
No one likes the cakes.
Spike rarity, spike rarity.
Wait. What is?
Spike and Rarity.
What if there's an episode where
Oh, yeah.
where Spike gets fed up? He's like, you know what? I'm just so tired of trying to get Rarity to like me. Sweetie Belle. And then he starts dating Sweetie Belle, and Rarity's like, wait, what? He doesn't like me anymore, and she gets jealous. That'd be a really good episode.
Okay.
Fingers
Yes.
crossed.
Shamu. Shamu.
You Shimu? Go right ahead,
Yeah.
man.
We know Sable likes Cheetos.
Oh. Can you say it one more time?
Do I have a favorite snack food? I like the dark chocolate Milky Way bars. Yeah. And also cashews. I like cashews a lot.
Cats wear shoes?
No, cashews. The nut.
That's Saber. No. So, what about you? Favorite snack?
I don't know, sweets more.
That was easy answer. All right, you. Yes.
If you were a Quaker oatmeal, what kind would you be?
Oatmeal, are you crazy?
Oh, I'm from the South, so grits. All right. But, yeah, it's not oatmeal, but whatever. You. Yes.
Since you tortured him with this question, if you were in Ponyville and had to make a career, what would you
I'd have a pet shop.
Whoa. What would it be?
Pet shop.
Pet shop? Littlest Pet Shop.
You know they're making a show out of Littlest Pet Shop on the hub. Yeah.
I would probably open up some kind of like used car lot or something. I got this nice Corolla over here, 1991. The deposit's free. No, I'd be like Grunkle Stan, you know, the Mystery Shack or something.
Yeah.
I'd do that. All right, you. Yes.
Which elements of harmony would you
Oh God.
Oh yeah, we made up a thing where the knowledge wisdom.
I don't want to sound like facetious or anything. I'd probably be the element of Cheetos. What about you, Paleo?
Knowledge.
That's
The
not
element.
an element.
Guess it's not it. Oh, are we going with the official ones or made up ones?
Official.
Official.
Oh, official. Oh.
I guess magic because of Twilight. So
Same.
You're a unicorn.
no,
I'm copying you.
no.
Deal with it. What about you, SoGAP?
Okay, so you're asking what is the most important virtue?
No, just,
you're asking
just-
for the most
it's a
important
multiple
virtue.
choice question. Like,
Every conception of virtue
what would it
ethics.
be? What would you pick? Would it be?
Every conception of virtue ethics has all
God.
the virtues.
What did you do?
As a part of a
What did you
harmonious
do? Thanks a lot. We can. What's the next panel? Because it's gonna run over now. All right. All right.
Wisdom. Wisdom is the thing that informs all virtues.
That's not an
all.
official element,
I
though.
know, but it's
elements.
implied by every single one.
The elements of moderation.
Because you have to know the right level of generosity. You can't just give everything away.
Okay. You still want to have Robo?
Let's do a couple more questions. What time is it? Oh, it's.
Oh yeah, but how many minutes do we have? Because I'm not sure how.
Wait, what time we get? We have 1 minute left. Oh my God.
Wait, how many minutes do we have?
Draft. Thank you. All right, we'll do another question. In the back. Red shirt. I don't read fanfics, really.
Yours truly.
Cool.
I guess nobody's read that.
All right, in the back.
Pony psychology.
Pony psychology. In the back. Yeah, you. You say it one more time, a bit louder. Lunar Republic.
Solar Empire.
You tyrant.
I'm going with Celestia.
But you, SoGAP, what would you pick? One or two.
Lunar
Never mind.
Empire.
All right, you. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
A Tamagotchi.
Oh wow, an orca. Wow, thank you.
I think Paleo's actually moved. Are you crying?
No.
All right, in the back. Yeah.
Hi, Saber Draco.
Hey, Draco.
How's it going?
Oh, good.
Okay, got kind of. I guess you can take this question on. Favorite PND and you cannot say Gangnam Style.
Favorite PMV, probably Want It, Need It. Is that, was it from
Oh,
Omega's
the-
Ozone?
Yeah, Omega Ozone,
Yeah.
the one it needed.
All right, real, like, all right, what's yours?
I can't think of it at the top of my head. Yeah, I'd have to think on that
Alright.
because
All right, Draft, do you know how much longer we have or? Nah, whatever. Let's do one more question. You.
what?
If you could choose one pony to help you out in your daily work, who would it be?
Probably Big Mac. Takes orders pretty well. How about you?
Twilight because of the scheduling, but I have Twilight for a lot of my answers. Anyway.
Favorite book? All right, SoGAP, what about you?
You know, Fluttershy.
It's a flashlight.
Because she's my waifu.
All right, I think our panel. Let me just check. I think we're running out of time
Okay.
here.
Do you want to have Robo come up?
I don't think we have time. Yeah, we're in negative time. We're going to wrap this up, guys. All right, thank you for coming out, guys. That's Brony Breakdown Live from Canterlot Gardens. Thank you guys so much for coming out. You're the best. And we'll see you guys next time.
Oh.
Since 2012, the only interview ever with
SoGreatAndPowerful? Yeah. Yes.
We were just we've sort of been obsessed watching that these last couple days. Would you be able to give us any amount of like backstory
Yes.
before or after that?
So a lot of folks, 'cause I think it was actually on a 4chan post, or it was on like some like Everfree Radio uploaded the vlog of that to their channel,
Okay.
and the comments were like, "Wow, Saberspark's talking too much over So Great and Powerful."
Mm-hmm.
So Great and Powerful is an introvert to like the nth degree.
Oh, yeah,
He
that's how it is.
hates being on stage. And actually, and this, I swear, it sounds like I'm deflecting like responsibility, where it's like, that's why I was being obnoxious. I'm always obnoxious. But like, because he hung out in the room with me and Paleo at our hotel room at Canterlot Gardens.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, so great powerful. It's great music. It's cool that he's actually here. We never thought we'd get a chance to meet him. He said, like, we're like, do you want to be on the panel? And he's like, no, I don't really want to. I'm scared. And we're like, we'll be the talkers. That way you're just there laughing if you want to. And he's like, no, I'm okay with that. And we did that. And he's a quiet fella, but he was also like very intelligent with talking.
Yeah.
And you can tell that when it comes to the fandom and his music, he was very, what's what I'm trying to say? Like how contemplated his music. It wasn't just a song for a song's sake. He actually made these songs for reasons of like, I love the fandom for its passion, its creativity.
The effort was visible.
Right.
You
You can tell that he was very much so inspired for the content he was making. And you see it in his music. I mean, dude, So Great and Powerful, music was better than like, it's one of the best in the fandom. Like,
Yes,
to this day, I
I would
still listen to it.
We agree, yes.
The one thing that threw me off though was I was walking through the hallway with Paleo and SoGreat, and he's like, yeah, and that's why I'm a communist. And I'm like,
I knew it. I knew it the whole time.
And that was the first time, because as you get older, you kind of like start to get life experience.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, oh my god, I'm not like that. But that was the first time I ever met a fully pledged communist.
Right.
And I'm like, hello, okay, word. And I don't know why that stuck out to me, because I laughed with Haley afterwards, being like, huh, so Gab's a communist. But
first time for everything.
Right.
And it really, and before it was more, I guess, relevant to be that when you meet a communist in like 2012. That's like, oh, all right,
sorry.
weird niche sort of ideology.
This is probably the last thing folks are like, let's go see about SoGap's music in the interview. And it's like, he's a dirty commie.
No, like you could like infer that based off of what he says in like comment sections, descriptions, in like other talks. It's no surprise to me.
He's a person where I think he takes a macro level approach of looking at human society,
Oh, for sure, yeah.
art. He's very contemplative with what he's making, what he thinks, and I think he has a very altruistic drive of what he's making and what he's about. I respect him. It's a shame that he dropped off the map, because after Canterlot Gardens, we never heard from him again.
Straight up?
Straight up. Because
How did you go from like rooming with him to never hearing from him again?
So I pinned that on Paleo, because like I went to the convention with Paleo, and I was very much so about like our panels. Paleo had a dialogue going with SoGap, and SoGap's like, hey, can I just crash with you guys? And we're like, sure. Actually, it was the weirdest thing. The hotel room was a king size bed, and it was for myself and Paleo initially. And this room went from 2 people to 9. SoGap crashed with us. Our friend Hirasashi crashed with us. Sai Lin crashed with us. A guy named Bajati crashed with us, and a guy named Robob crashed with us. We're like, what's going on? You know that's in like The Hobbit, how like Bilbo is like hanging out and a bunch of dwarves are showing up to his house. And he's like, oh shit. That's what it felt like. So, but it was great. It was a delight. SoGap was a cool person. It's a shame that it's like, obviously you respect a person's wishes. He obviously had other things going on, and it's like, it's kind of a beautiful sadness to be like, I don't know, there's something about having this little moment with a person at a convention, getting to talk to them, know their music, but then they're gone forever. And it's like, well, they're gone forever, but like you never hear from them again. It makes you treasure that moment you had with them. And he was a really cool guy. Great music. I hope he's well out there. I hope he's doing well, you know.
That was almost the message of his music. Like, you could see it in his lyrics and some of his songs.
Well, it's amazing to think like back in the day when like this Brony stuff first took off. And we're like, whoa, like we're all about this. It's Jackalab, it's Mike the Microphone, it's SoGap. But I think the more elusive an artist is, the more kind of like intoxicating it is for us who love their music to be like, I want to know more.
Because we have that desire. It's so elusive. It's like explicitly elusive.
The forbidden fruit kind of thing.
Yeah, because not only did he delete, he like implored everyone to delete his stuff. And on top of all like, you know, the deeper messages and all of the effort and all of like the heart put into it, it's like you sort of can't resist going after that. You really want to know more if you want to know more even a little bit.
Right, and I think that's a built-in for humans in general, is like for a lot of us there's a curiosity aspect of like, I want to know more.
Like,
why is where's the information? Who's this person? And not to the point of like doxing them.
Oh, obviously.
But more of like
as respectfully as possible.
Right. No, stay in your lane. And there's a certain point where it's like, that's all we know. And the rest is kind of a mystery. So meeting him was like that, as far as like enjoying panels, getting to talk to him, and it was a very pleasant surprise, welcomed.
Yeah.
But then it's like, and that's that. So I don't know where he is in the world. I hope he's safe. For all we know, he could be like working under another pseudonym.
Oh, he is.
He is?
Yeah, Captive Unicorns.
I don't know that.
Oh yeah, he's released like 3 tracks
on YouTube or Spotify. Or
They've already been deleted, but yeah.
That's another thing, is you run into the artist who is like their own worst critic, where they delete their own stuff because like, it's not good enough, delete. And it's like, no, I love this stuff, please.
Well, this most recent deletion with Captive Unicorn seems more like he knew that was going to happen beforehand, like it was part of the message, I suppose. But yeah, there's currently 3 songs under Captive Unicorns, and based off of what we know, there's supposed to be more. So yeah.
Isn't there only 2?
Yeah, there's, well, counting the collaboration with Samesis, I'll
Right.
say there's 3 Captive Unicorn tracks. 2 if you want to be like strict about it.
And these were January 2020, and the other one was a few months later. So
2020? Wow.
Yeah.
There's something, I don't know, there's something romantic about it.
Oh, for sure.
Of like the artist who is a bit like elusive, and it's like a little speck on the radar for a second, and you're like, oh, and then they're gone. So
there's a few other pony artists that sort of did the same thing.
Yeah.
So 2 quick things. One's very petty, one's a little more interesting. In the Q&A, P1K was like, hey, can we collaborate? And SGAP, who was already a little upset, and he's like, you didn't give me the time of day yesterday. Was that conflict ever resolved after the fact?
Wait, who was it for now?
Pony One Kenobi, in the Q&A afterwards, if I remember right, he asked like, hey, would you want to like collaborate?
Oh.
And
I mean, it's very possible, because again, like if I could highlight a few things, like
I'm asking about petty drama from like 9 years ago. So if you just don't know, you don't know. It's okay.
Well, SoGAP, again, massive introvert, keeps to themselves. I'll be real, I'm surprised they even showed up to Canterlot Gardens to begin with.
Yeah.
I think that was their curiosity was so strong that it was overriding their introvert nature enough to at least see what the fuss is about at a convention. Because, I mean, I've gone to so many cons, and I've not seen SoGAP since. And that's it. So, I don't know. I think maybe SoGAP might have said, sure, as a deflection to get out. Because, again, like, I don't take it personally. They pieced out. That's fine. That's their own choice.
Yeah.
I hope that they're well. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe G5 will change things up.
That would be very interesting if, of all things, to reignite his presence to the same level of at the start, if it was G5, that would be
well, I'll tell you, nostalgia is a hell of an emotion.
Yeah. All right. So the next one, there's this thumbnail that exists of you, Paleo, SGAP, and Andrew WK.
Yes.
We were cackling about it during both SGAP meetups. There have been 2 at this. Do you have the full picture? There's only this like one.
No, you have to go to Everfree Radio.
Yeah.
So at Canterlot Gardens, they had like a media room.
Yeah.
And because of some connections, like Paleo and I were allowed to like go up and interview folks because we were Brony Breakdown under Everfree Radio, and I guess that was enough clearance and whatever. It's so funny in hindsight to think back to these things where it's like, oh, I have a podcast, I'm going to the media to interview. It's all perception of like grandeur, and it's never that we took it in a pompous, prideful kind of way. No, not at all. But more of but now in hindsight, it's just a surreal thing to think about. That happened. What? Yeah. What timeline was that? So because Paleo and I, right, exactly. Paleo and I went out to go see Andrew WK and interview him. That interview's up on Everfree Radio. Yeah. And SoGAP went with us. And at the very end, we were like, let's take a picture together. And you got Andrew WK, who's like 6'10", and then SoGAP, awkwardly with his lanky, long arms smiling, and Paleo being lanky boy, me being shaved face, chunky boy, and we're like, Andrew WK was a cool guy. I gotta say, it was cool to see SoGAP and Andrew WK in the same room. So
like the full picture exists somewhere.
I think Paleo might have it. Paleo's pretty good at archiving. Okay. So either Everfree Radio has it or Paleo has it. I can inquire and find out.
Yeah, we'd love that, man.
Thank you.
Alex, do you have anything else? I'm pretty satisfied with this.
Yeah, that was a great interview. Thank you so much.
I've been listening to you